everybody, this is John. Welcome to the free video. A very interesting day today. So we had, first of all, of course, CRM got an announce that, hey, this thing is going to get bought. So that shot up and had kind of a crazy intraday move there. We can take a look at this on an intraday chart. You'll see that, boom, it kind of came right in. And against the backdrop of this, you had Twitter just get destroyed in earnings, and this ended up being a pretty big move to the downside. This is one of the reasons why I like doing iron flies as opposed to iron condors when it comes to earnings. An iron condor here, which would work most of the time, in this case gets destroyed because you're risking a lot of times 10 to make one or even more to make one, and an iron fly is you're typically risking 1 to make 3. So it's a much different risk to reward ratio. For today, for earnings, we did call credit spreads on Yelp. At this point, let's see, $51.29. It is down $7, so it looks like it should be okay. And then for Baidu, this was a fun one. This is what I call the kind of no-risk trade. So let me show you this one. And when it works, it's great, but it's just kind of like, things kind of have to line up. So this is the trade we did on Baidu. And this was pretty fun. So if you look at this, you can see, now you'll see over here the red is going to be your max gain, right, or loss. So if if in this case, if Baidu goes up to 230, then we'd make $2,085, right? But what's fun here is that if it fell to like 190 or whatever, our max loss is positive $49. So on this trade, not only do we have a risk-free trade, but we've locked in a guaranteed profit of $49 with unlimited upside potential. Okay, so that was one we did in the trading room today. For those of you that took it, congratulations. That's kind of fun when it works. And I'll talk more about that too in future videos, but that's just a combination of a couple different strategies that are combined, and when it hits, it looks really good like that. And then today we had the FOMC come out, and what a volatile day. And a lot of the volatility happened before the FOMC. Bonds were getting trounced, and then after the FOMC, they kind of came off a little bit in terms of not being such under pressure. The S&Ps were getting trounced, and they kind of came off a little bit there. But I'm still concerned about the transportation index. I mean, this is one where if this thing's going to go, it's going to happen here. And this weekly squeeze where the momentum turned is actually back to lower. So, we're kind of right back in that same pocket. So the volatility, long story short, the volatility is going to continue to increase. Okay, last but not least, we are having an encore request for this topic, which is a weird but highly predictable special situation that is ideal for traders. This came up during the Vegas event, and I actually had a lot of people asking, like, hey, what is this ASM thing? So simpleoptions.com/ASM. And this is it's just one of those things that, when it comes along and you look at it and like, okay, that actually makes sense. And I'm going to do it myself. And Maria actually wants to do it, and I'm going to help James get something going so he can have something going on it. And it's just one of those things where it's that, it's a couple of things I like about it. One, I use Amazon for everything. If I have to go buy something online, I don't search on Google, I search on Amazon. And if it's there, I buy it. And this is a whole kind of a process for getting a product on Amazon, and that when somebody like me comes on and says, oh, I'm searching for, exercise bands, that, the product that you're selling actually comes up to the top of the list, and you end up getting the most sales. Now, you don't have to make the product yourself, okay? You don't have to do anything except just know how to do, kind of their system, and, yada, yada, yada. So, why would I ever even want to look at this? The idea of, you kind of look at like the start of a trend, right? So Amazon, obviously a big company. The last earnings that came out was a blowout quarter. Guess what? More and more and more people are going to continue to be buying on Amazon. And this is an opportunity to kind of participate in that economy, okay? Sales are being sucked out of brick and mortar stores. They're being placed online. There's kind of a gap there where a lot of people don't know what they're doing with it. And for those that know, we can kind of go in and fill that gap. And because as an individual, we don't have a lot of overhead, it's okay if we have a small business that's just, just doing 5,000 a month, or we could actually put a lot of resources into it and do something bigger. So to me, it's just one of those things that it kind of makes sense. And I'm a history major, and it reminds me of kind of like, oh, hey, they're laying train tracks down and they're going to try to connect the cities. I wonder if this is something that might be worth looking into. And at this point, I mean, if you flash forward 20 years from now, Amazon may own the world, and it's just a way to participate in it and either make a little bit of income doing it, or if you really throw yourself into it, doing something bigger. So this is something that is kind of considered, I guess, something of an edge. And I would just say that if this is something that you're listening to going like, John, that sounds like the worst idea I've ever heard in my life, no problem. Completely disregard this. This is just kind of, it's for some of you that are out there going like, that sounds interesting, I want to take a look. This webinar actually shows you how to do it and explains the process and for free. And at the end of it, if you just want to really dive in and get like a kit, a starter kit with all this different stuff that can actually help you do it, they'll offer that, okay, for sale at the end. But that's what the one thing I told them is like, look, if you're going to do this, you need to offer useful information that people could actually use in and of itself. And then from there, if they want more, that's fine. Okay? So anyway, that's what that is. When are they going to do this? Again, Thursday, April 30th, from 1 to 3 Pacific time. Okay, so that's 3 o'clock Central time, and that would be 4 o'clock Eastern time. Okay, and like I said before, I mean, I know the guys that do this, and I told them that if any one of my clients has any complaints, that I'm coming to them personally. Okay, so, and I said that was the only way that I would talk about what they're doing, and they agreed. All right, so that's what we got. Hopefully you guys have good trading. Enjoy the webinar, and we'll see you at the next update.